Katt Williams is no stranger to controversy. We all know about Katt Williams, all right? And when he opens his mouth, it's crazy. It's crazy when Katt Williams starts to target people. When he speaks in volumes, okay? Now, Katt Williams went on a Mr. Shannon Sharpe show. Shannon Sharpe has a new show, all right? Ex-NFL player. Shannon Sharpe has a new show called Shay's Club. I haven't had a chance really to catch. I've been catching remnants of it, tits and tad bits of it. I haven't caught it in its entirety as of yet, but I did have a chance to listen to Mr. Katt Williams. Now, Katt Williams got he got some things to speak about. Katt Williams has some things to get off of his chest, some chips to get off of his shoulders, it seems like. Katt Williams spoke about every comedian that you could think of in modern day times, right? All of the top comedians, the kings of comedies, the so-called kings of comedy, right? So yeah, you know he spoke about Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah, hold up. Let me drop a bomb for Cedric. Katt Williams spoke about Cedric the Entertainer. Katt Williams spoke ill about Steve Harvey. Katt Williams spoke about Kevin Hart. Katt Williams spoke about Tiffany Haddish. Listen, it's not just the men. He's not being biased. He talked about the women too. He talked about Tiffany Haddish. Not so crazy, but he spoke about her, and she actually replied back to him in actuality. I will speak about that also. But nonetheless, who else did he speak about? He spoke about L.O.T.S. Katt Williams spoke about a plethora of numerous people. I can't even begin to speak about all the people that he talked about. But let's start off top. Let's start off with Mr. Cedric the Entertainer. Katt Williams has a beef with Cedric the Entertainer. Now, we all know Cedric the Entertainer. We're fond of Cedric the Entertainer. I don't know the ins and outs of these comedians, really, and their whole career and their transition and their ascension into where they're at their career currently, right? Because Cedric the Entertainer, let's be clear now, he is a king of comedy. They had a whole tour that him and Ricky Smiley, listen, oh man, he spoke about Ricky Smiley too. Drop a bomb to that. Cedric the Entertainer, I believe Cedric the Entertainer, what's his name? You got Mr. Steve Harvey, all right? And another individual, I don't know if it was, what's his name? Ricky Smiley. Shout out to Ricky Smiley because he is a Florida resident at this point. But nonetheless, I got to bring the story to you guys. Don't shoot the messenger. Shout out to Steve, shout out to Ricky Smiley. But let's speak about Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric the Entertainer, he had a lot to say about Cedric. First of all, I never knew that Cedric doesn't write his comedy. According to Katt Williams, allegedly, Cedric the Entertainer does not write comedy at all. Now, how does that work? I didn't know that there was ghostwriters in comedy. I know that comics, I know they come together, right? They collaborate on jokes and they help refine the jokes. Same way in rap. It's the same way as the rap game. But I never knew that you could not just write comedy completely. This is unbeknownst to me. This was new to me, all right? So Katt Williams is letting us know some new things. I never knew Cedric the Entertainer did not write his comedy. Now, Katt Williams has a gripe with Cedric the Entertainer. Apparently, because you don't write comedy, that means that you're capable of stealing comedy, right? Because you're not the one that's coming up with it. That's allegedly what Katt Williams is saying. Well, Katt Williams is saying that Cedric the Entertainer stole one of his comedy skits also. Now, he's saying that this is documented. He was on BET. He was on numerous platforms. And this is a joke that he makes towards the end of his comedy session. He makes a joke towards the end in which Mr. Cedric the Entertainer, he yapped that, right? He stole that from him. It's some car thing. He switched it up. Well, Katt Williams is speaking about being in the car, and Cedric replaced the car. Cedric the Entertainer replaced the car with a spaceship. Nonetheless, shout out to Make It Happen in the building. That part. Let me see my guests in the building, man. First of all, shout out to Paul Bizzle. Wipe your feet on the rug. That part. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Wipe your feet on the rug. You heard Bizzle. All right. Shout out to Planet. Goddammit. We live. My partner in crime. That's my eyes behind my head. And big up to Make It Happen, all right? Shout out to Make It Happen in Trinidad, all right? We support that music. You guys get a chance, check out Make It Happen music. That's also. Oh, And thank you, bro. We're going to speak about the Epstein Island list. The Epstein Island list has been released, so we'll speak about that after this Katt Williams. This Katt Williams fiasco, this event that he put on. Listen, the interview that Shannon Sharpe did with Katt Williams is over 17 million views in 2 days. And I checked that out like 4 hours ago. So you can imagine right now where it's at. I'm pretty sure it's probably up there in the 19 million at this point. 19 million views in 2 days? That's bigger than rapper numbers, all right? So Katt Williams has took the internet by storm at this point. All they're speaking about right now is Katt Williams. Now, the Epstein Island list just released, and it seems like the Katt Williams thing is overshadowing even that. Could you imagine, all right? But nonetheless, he said Cedric the Entertainer stole one of his comedy skits, all right? He had nothing but bad things to say about Cedric the Entertainer. Also, he had gunshots for Steve Harvey. All right? Katt Williams says Steve Harvey, he's the one that exposed Steve Harvey doesn't have a hairline. Steve Harvey does not have a hairline, okay? According to Katt Williams, he's the one that exposed that about Steve Harvey. He considers Steve Harvey to be fraudulent. He's a faker, according to Katt Williams. Katt Williams he held no punches. Katt Williams has no love for none of these gentlemen. That's what it seems like, right? But he went on to expose Steve Harvey. Katt Williams says that Katt Williams was invited to be one of the kings of comedies. And for some reason, Katt Williams did not take him. He declined on the offer. According to Katt Williams, they were trying to replace there's some disrespect for Bernie Mac. I was a little bit confused because this is comedian business right here. I don't know about their business. This is the most I've ever heard of comedian business at all. And I appreciate Mr. Katt Williams. But nonetheless, Katt Williams said they was trying to replace Bernie Mac. Katt Williams is saying that Steve Harvey had beef with Bernie Mac. There was some type of animosity there on Steve Harvey's behalf for Mr. Bernie Mac. He said Bernie Mac was dark-skinned, you know what I mean, presumably black and ugly, so he wasn't going to get the opportunities that these light-skinned gentlemen were getting. Katt Williams spoke about some politics here. Katt Williams, he ruffled more than a few feathers here. Katt Williams shook the industry. There's so much that Katt Williams said, it's ridiculous, all right? Also, Cedric the Entertainer. What else he said about Cedric? Well, beyond Cedric the Entertainer, let's move on to Ricky Smiley. All right. Katt Williams spoke about Ricky Smiley. Okay, there's Friday, Ice Cube's Friday After Next. You guys know we're all waiting for another Friday movie. This is the most anticipated movie that we've had in the black community. We want to see another Friday, all right? Now, Katt Williams spoke in reference to the Friday After Next, in which he played a role. His role was considered Money Mike, all right? Now, Money Mike was a pimp. Let's be clear. Y'all remember Money Mike? He was a pimp. That part, which is not too far-fetched from Mr. Katt Williams, because Katt Williams said in the interview at one point he was a pimp in his life when he lived in Oklahoma. Katt Williams gave a crazy story, man. I've never knew so much about Katt Williams, and I appreciate that interview that Shannon Sharpe did. I don't even know Shannon Sharpe was even ready for that interview, but his platform has got the most serious interview for 224, and they kicked the door open with a serious interview for 224. I don't know who's going to upstage that interview, but Katt Williams has the top interview for 224. Like I told you, when I checked this morning, it was 17 million views in 2 days. 17 million views in 2 days. All right, that's the Katt Williams Shannon Sharpe interview. Well, on the Shay Club. That's Shannon Sharpe's new show on the internet. So, nonetheless, he spoke about Mr. Ricky Smiley. Now, Ricky Smiley, according to him, he was supposed to play Money Mike, in which, contrary to what he's saying, Katt Williams saying that's a lie. Katt Williams said there's no way Ricky Smiley could have played Money Mike. For one, he's saying that he's the one that he kind of created the character in the sense of he didn't come up with the name, but he created the wardrobe for Money Mike. Katt Williams said he's responsible for how Money Mike dressed. Katt Williams said he's responsible for Money Mike's perm. All right. Katt Williams said that he changed the lines in the movie. This is Friday After Next, Ice Cube's movie, Ice Cube series franchise Friday. All right. The most anticipated movie in the black community. We all love Friday. Now, according to Katt Williams, he more curated this character, Money Mike. And it just gives credence to his story, saying there's no way that Ricky Smiley could have been playing that role. According to Katt Williams, he said Ricky Smiley went around everywhere saying that role was designed for him, as if Katt Williams stole that role from him. But Katt Williams came with a bunch of facts that give validity to his story, which I'm leaning more to Katt Williams' side. Katt Williams says that he's the one that curated the character in the sense of how the character dressed, the perm the character had. He changed the lines to the character. So he's the one who created all that verbiage that you hear in the movie, right? Now, there's something also that was troubling. Something very, 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 very troubling, all right? Now, according to Katt Williams, Money Mike was supposed to get graped in that movie. Listen, according to Katt Williams, Money Mike was supposed to get graped in that movie. Katt Williams is the one that changed that script in that regard. And he said one thing, I guess I'm paraphrasing, but he says, you can trust me as a comedian, right? He says one thing he knows is comedy. He said there's no way of making fun of getting graped. In no way, shape, or form can that be a joke, right? Now, this segues into more about Ricky Smiley. Now, Katt Williams went on a whole rhetoric. For one, Katt Williams is saying that he had a lot of opportunities in the industry, in Hollywood. Katt Williams was provided a lot of opportunities. He was that next up-and-coming comedian. Katt Williams said that he declined on a lot of offers or was not given the role because he didn't want to do certain things within the scripts. Now, you guys know about Hollywood and black people in Hollywood, right? Black men wearing dresses in Hollywood. This is a big thing in Hollywood. Every comedian that you know, every comedian that we know, that we're familiar with, has 9 times out of 10 wore a dress, was depicted as a woman in a feminine role, all right? Now, with that being said, you already see Ricky Smiley. Let's stay on Ricky Smiley. Katt Williams said Ricky Smiley is a better actor as a woman than a man. He pointed out some very valid points, right? We more know Ricky Smiley for playing roles of a woman. He said also, to throw somebody in there, he said Tyler Perry plays a role better as a woman than a man. He said he's a firm believer. This is all the words of Katt Williams. He said he's a firm believer that you should play the role that you're most designed for. The role that best fits you. So this is why he says these gentlemen play better roles as women than men. We're all familiar with Madea. We're familiar with Tyler Perry's role playing women role. We're all familiar with Ricky Smiley playing a women role. We're all familiar with Martin Lawrence playing a woman role. All right. Kevin Hart played a woman role at one point. This is something that hangs over black actors, black comedians' heads. So according to Katt Williams, one of the biggest prerequisites to be a comedian in Hollywood and be successful, a highly sought after #1 elite comedian being offered the best of the roles, the biggest budgets of the biggest movies, you have to be willing to put on a dress, in which Mr. Katt Williams declined every time. Now, this gives so much validity to Katt Williams. That's why Katt Williams, he ruffled a lot of feathers. That's a crazy way to start the 224. Listen, Katt Williams started 224 crazy. Katt Williams started 224 crazy with that Shannon Sharpe interview, all right? So with that being said, he went to speak about Kevin Hart. He went as far as to say that Kevin Hart is an industry plant. Katt Williams said Kevin Hart didn't have no history prior to, he's never had no sold out shows prior to his ascension into Hollywood as an elite comedian. He never had a sold out show. Katt Williams is a firm believer that Kevin Hart is allegedly an industry plant. and he gives a new definition to industry plant. All right? He's saying basically a lot of those roles that Kevin Hart was offered, he was offered prior to Kevin Hart being offered those roles. And if you look at the timeline of things, Katt Williams has been that comedian for a long time. Talent is not a question. Celebrity is not a question with him. He definitely would be the next up in line as an elite comedian. But Katt Williams, according to Katt Williams, he declined on a lot of offers, or was not giving them, or they gave him the offer, and I guess he didn't meet their demands. He wasn't willing to put on the dresses. According to Katt Williams, he asked every time he spoke to a director or whoever you want to call the person that writes the script, he asked, can he make some adjustments in the script? Like I said, in the Friday After Next, Money Mike was supposed to get graped. It's Katt Williams who was the one who made them not put that in the script. He made them change the script. So this is what Katt Williams is saying. And you guys know there's validity to that. Every black comedian puts on a dress at one point. Eddie Murphy, we can go, et cetera, et cetera. If you're a big black comedian, pause, you're going to put on a dress eventually throughout your career, all right? Especially when you're reaching those peaks in your career. When you're just the number one sought-after comedian, right? You get the biggest scripts, the biggest budgets known to Hollywood. These are the prerequisites that you have to meet. You got to put on that dress, all right? That's a defamation of just to water down your character, all right? So this is what Katt Williams is alluding to. So Katt Williams said that he was offered a lot of roles that Kevin Hart was offered. Nonetheless, Kevin Hart obviously was willing to put on that dress when he seen them checks. You know what I'm saying? When they say gay for pay, there's a term they say gay for pay. I ain't calling Kevin Hart gay, all right, nonetheless. But he's putting on these dresses, and you see Kevin Hart putting on the dresses is because them zeros, there's a lot of zeros on those checks that they're being offered for those roles. But nonetheless, he said Kevin Hart is not funny. He said Kevin Hart's not funny. He alluded to saying Steve Harvey's not funny. Now, me, myself, I got to shoot Kevin Hart some bail. I remember at one point I went to a Kevin Hart comedy show. And yes, Kevin Hart was funny. We all familiar with that joke. All right, all right, all right, all right. That part, he's talking about his uncle. I found that to be very amusing. Kevin Hart is very amusing. But I'm not saying he's hilarious. I'm not saying that he's hilarious, but Kevin Hart is amusing, all right? So maybe I don't agree with Katt Williams in that regard, as he's speaking about Kevin Hart and him not being funny. But I find Kevin Hart to be funny, all right? Now, as a stand-up comedian, is he one of the best stand-up comedians? I'm not gonna say that. We're all familiar with the top comedians right now. Mr. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. These are the top comedians. And Eddie Murphy's always going to be at the apex, always going to be at the top. Eddie Murphy's never coming down. Pause, all right? These are the best of the best, nonetheless. But Katt Williams made some valid points. Katt Williams actually made me reassess comedy. He made me reassess comedy and the roles that these gentlemen are getting and how funny, gauging how funny they actually are. I never thought about it. Though I say it in my head at times, I never really put it in perspective as to, is Kevin Hart that funny? Is Steve Harvey that funny? I don't find Steve Harvey to be funny at all. Now, Cedric the Entertainer, I'm rocking with Cedric. I ain't mad. But he gave some validity to Cedric the Entertainer also. He said Cedric the Entertainer does not have no Netflix shows, specials on Netflix. Katt Williams has over 100. He's on a 100-city tour, over 20. He got like 13 Netflix specials. Katt Williams is doing his numbers. So he says that Cedric doesn't have those accolades. So Cedric don't got those accolades. That means Cedric is not like that. I never thought about it like that. To be quite honest with you, I never even looked at it like that. But like I said, Katt Williams makes me reassess comedy and how I look at things, all right? Now, he also spoke about Luda. And this one threw me for a doozy. Hold up. This right here threw me for a doozy. All right. We went as far as to speak about Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious. You already know Ludacris from Fast and Furious, Tyrese. You know anybody that's a part of that Fast and Furious franchise is like that. Anybody that's a part of that franchise, Fast and Furious franchise is like that, paid. Tyrese is paid, all right? Anybody that part to any actor in that movie. Now, He went after your boy Luda. I don't like when cats go after Luda. Luda just be chilling. Luda is the sleeping giant. Ludacris, that's the sleeping giant. But it looks like he wasn't safe. He wasn't safe on Katt Williams' watch. All right. So Katt Williams even targeted Luda. Don't shoot the messenger. All right. Now, I guess he alluded to saying that role that Ludacris was playing was supposed to be for him. That he could have took that role. And to be honest with you, Katt Williams and Ludacris, they do share a resemblance. They do resemble each other. So it just gives more validity to what Katt Williams is saying. But you guys know Luda's already responded to him. In a typical Luda fashion, Luda got a freestyle that he did, a freestyle on Katt Williams. Luda's freestyle is fire. Fire nonetheless. Shout out to Ludacris with that freestyle on Katt Williams, all right? He did that. He did his numbers, and Ludacris is still potent. Ludacris is that nigga. Ludacris is potent, all right? Ludacris is potent. Shout out to Ludacris. Now, Katt Williams went as far as he went at Ludacris's wife. Katt Williams wasn't holding no punches. Katt Williams even went at Ludacris's wife. Now, yeah, isn't Ludacris married to a doctor? I think Ludacris is married to a doctor. Let's be real. And the woman is beautiful. I deemed her to be beautiful. So I'm surprised that Katt Williams I'm surprised that Katt Williams sent those shots at Luda like he did. Katt Williams has no remorse. This is Katt Williams, and he's a different element, Katt Williams. Now, Katt Williams, he's on the attack. But this was no attack like no other. He really got some things off his chest, and he dispelled a lot of misconceptions about Hollywood. Hollywood is fugazi. Let's be real. Hollywood is fugazi. The magic wand, the city of the magic wand. Hollywood is fugazi, and Katt Williams exposed that. Katt Williams showed you that Ricky Smiley be wearing dresses in Hollywood. Katt Williams showed you that Kevin Hart be wearing dresses. Katt Williams showed you that Eddie Murphy and them be wearing dresses. Katt Williams shows you about the consistency with the dresses and comedians in Hollywood. And they give credence to why he doesn't get those roles, all right? Shout out to Whistler. Shout out to Whistler in the building, you heard? Shout out, family. That's what I'm talking about. You guys make sure you guys are sharing this podcast. Whistler, do me a favor. Share this podcast. You guys do me a favor. Don't be a ninja watcher, all right? Don't be a pocket watcher. Don't be a casual watcher. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you guys are sharing this with your flock, all right? Every shepherd has his own flock. You guys are shepherds out there. Make sure you guys know that, all right? 224, we going up for 224. Like I told you, we podcasting. This podcast is going to be available, obviously, on YouTube. Y'all going to be able to watch this on Twitter. Y'all going to be able to watch this on Facebook. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take it off of Facebook in a little bit. Nonetheless, but you guys can also listen to the audio on Apple Podcasts. All right? Listen to the audio. The audio will be up by tomorrow morning, maybe even tonight. Remember, I'm uploading everything. That part was the grrr. Don't shoot the messenger, that part. That's what I'm talking about, participation. This is what I need in here. I don't care if we got 100 people in here. I don't care if we got 5 people. I need everybody to participate in this. 224, we going up. The energy got to go up. You heard me? The energy got to go up for 224. We're going to start off right. Same with Katt Williams started off right with that Shannon Sharpe interview and turned the internet on his back. All right? He put the internet on his back. That part. We going up for 224. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. Episode number 69. Bow. Oh, let me get some gunshots. Episode number 69. Episode number 69. Episode number 69. That part. Listen, man. Shout out to Katt Williams. Katt Williams went off on everybody. No holds bars. He had no remorse for nobody at all. All right? Listen, man. Let's talk about it, man. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next subject. Shout out to Kevin Hart, nonetheless. Shout out to Kevin Hart. I have no horse in that race. Shout out to Kevin Hart. Shout out to Eddie Murphy. Shout out to Steve Harvey. Shout out to Cedric the Entertainer. Shout out to Ludacris. Shout out to Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish said, yo, he need to change his face. Tiffany Haddish said that Katt Williams was looking like Charleston White. That was, hold up, man. Wait. Charleston White looking like Katt Williams looking at you. Man, they be going at my dog Katt Williams. And they say Katt Williams is on drugs, and nonetheless, Katt Williams said he's never taken drugs in his life. And before I leave this, you guys got to know, listen, Katt Williams comes from some hard times, all right? I think he's originally from Ohio. I did not know this, but Katt Williams came to Miami at the age of 13. At the age of 13, Katt Williams came. We're going to make this real. I'm going to move to the next subject, but I got to give him his due respects, all right? Katt Williams came to Miami at the age of 13. What led him to come to Miami? Well, according to Katt Williams, a very educated little kid. By the age 6, 7, 8 years old, he already read all the encyclopedias. Let's get this clear. Katt Williams is very, 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 very intelligent. For anybody that didn't think so, Katt Williams is very intelligent. And it never fails me. People that reach these elite levels, they're very intelligent. I deem them to be very, same way Jay-Z. Jay-Z with that mental bit of memory, this excellent memory. All these people have excellent, excellent attributes that make them so great at what they do. But nonetheless, Katt Williams, by the age of 7, 8, the man read all the encyclopedia, all right? Katt Williams, at the age of 11, he was getting scholarships and shit like that. Very educated kid. Nonetheless, at one point, Katt Williams, he said at the age of 13, he got into an altercation with his father. Now, according to Katt Williams, his parents are very religious. You know what it is when you're growing up in a religious home. You know what it's hitting for. You know how people cling to God. And if you don't follow in their footsteps, if you don't adopt their philosophies, their ideologies, they damn near demonize you. This is what happens in the household, in the religious households. Well, so was the same with Katt Williams, all right? So now you guys, Katt Williams said that he used to get into arguments. He got into an altercation with his father. A serious altercation. He was trying to downplay it, but he went into the story. And this gave me more remorse. I had more remorse and more compassion. I had to show empathy and more compassion for Katt Williams. Katt Williams come from a hard background. At the age of 13, got into an altercation with his father. And it was a conflict of interest with the religion part. For some reason, Katt Williams was not a religious person, though I deem him to be spiritual, because I see that man does cling to God. He's godly, but he's not necessarily religious. He's like me. I'm not a Christian. I am not a Christian, but I am spiritual. But I do believe in a higher power. I believe in positive and negative. I believe in karma. Yes, I believe in these things, but I'm not a Christian. And I feel like that's the same thing as, well, I'm not gonna speak for Mr. Katt Williams, but at that point in his life, at the age of 13, he wasn't religious neither. So he got into an altercation with his father. Apparently, the altercation was so serious that the child services had to come through. Child services, HRS, they used to call it back in the days. Children and families. You know, when they come looking into your business, creeping, searching, and trying to find things. You know, things have hit the fan at this point. This is when the custody of your kids are at jeopardy. So according to Katt Williams, the altercation was so big that child services came through. Now, this is just what threw me for a loop about Katt Williams. Kid is very brave. Katt Williams is very, very brave. Katt Williams said he went to a parking lot, a land lot. I don't know, you know where the truckers be. And there was 2 truckers. There was one trucker was going to Cali, and the other trucker was going to Miami. All right? He said the thing that persuaded his decision was the distance. Basically, Cali was further than he was from Miami. So Katt Williams chose to go to Miami. Katt Williams, at the age of 13, jumped on a semi-truck and drove down to Miami, leaving his family behind. At the age of 13, making decisions like that. Now, Shannon Sharpe said, oh, why you didn't have no fear? He stopped Shannon Sharpe in his tracks. And he told Shannon, listen, oh, yeah, I was scared. Yes, there was fear there, all right? But you guys gotta know there's nothing but reward behind your fears. All right? When you get behind that mountain of fear, there's nothing but reward. The highest mountain has the best view. I always tell you guys that, all right? So he was able to overcome his fears. And that's just an interesting story about Katt Williams. At the age of 13, the story continues. The man found himself in Oklahoma. He was in Oklahoma. He said in Miami, he was stealing car radios. He was sleeping at the park in Coconut Grove. I'm hearing about these things. This now you're speaking about my city now, Coconut Grove and shit. You're talking about South Florida now. So I'm just thinking about his story. His story is so amazing. Katt Williams has an amazing story, and y'all need to look into that. Y'all need to watch that. Watch that interview. Watch the Shannon Sharpe interview with Katt Williams. Very, very informative. Very interesting. I'm saying I recommend everybody to watch that interview. There's so many misconceptions that we have about Hollywood, about comedy, about Katt Williams that he dispels, all right? So shout out to Katt Williams. Now, you guys, make sure you guys hit that like button. Do me a favor, don't be a ninja watcher, don't be no pocket watcher, and definitely don't be no people time. Hit that like button. We call that wipe your feet on the rug. Something you do at your grandparents' house. I need you guys to wipe your feet on the rug over here. Show respect, show that you was raised right, show us that you have manners, okay? Manners. Now, you guys, like I told you, we got merch. We have merch. You guys can order some merch with me. This is going to be up. This merch is going to be up, you guys. It's going to be up. No excuses. No excuses for 224. That's the motto. There's no excuses for 224. This is some new merch. L.O.T.S approved. You see the name on the back. You see the logo on the back. Now, you guys can't really see the coloring because guess what? The bright lights, the stage lights, is kind of blurring it a little bit. But I wish you guys could see this up close because it's beautiful. Beautiful. No excuses for 224. We on that. No excuses for 224. That part. All right? We got it in black. We got it in orange. We got it in white. That part. Also, everybody needs a coach. We got this in white and black, all right? This is for all the instructors. If you're an instructor, if you're a leader like me, you're a lord of the streets, a learning off the streets, a leader of the streets. You got leaders in other categories too. If you're a teacher, a coach, and I don't care what type of coach, you could be coaching sports, you be coaching instruments and teaching guitar, piano, whatever coach or instructor, this shirt is for you, you guys, all right? Remember I told you, everybody needs a coach. That part, all right? L.O.T.S approved merch. The merch is here, and you guys gonna better order that. You guys gonna see that on my YouTube page. You're also gonna be able to order that off of Instagram, and we're gonna have a link up where you guys can order the apparel. But yes, we back with the apparel once more. Shout out to Whistler in the building, you heard? That part.